hosts Purdue, that is at 11. Minnesota hosts the Fighting Illini at 11 o'clock. That's a good watch right there. Should actually be a good game between two fairly evenly matched teams. I like the Gophers at home with all the momentum they've had to actually win that one, get one under their belts. They head into the Wisconsin game, and they win these final two games out. Would not have happened if Kill was still the coach. Thank you for retiring Kill. Sorry for the reason you had to do it. We've got another great Big Ten game at 11 o'clock. We've got 12th ranked Michigan at unranked Penn State, although Penn State is a very, very good team. Potential upset or great game alert there. If nothing else, upset watch. Then let's see, nothing really. No. We got Florida State ranked 14th against a scrub at 2. We got 19th ranked Houston at terrible University of Connecticut, usually at least at 2:30. Here we go. 22 ranked Ole Miss hosting 15th ranked LSU this is the SEC matchup of the year of the two teams that have had the most up and down, ultimate gut-wrenching, heartbreaking seasons of the SEC teams. By far, most up and down. So interesting to see who comes out there. The loser's done for. The winner might be able to salvage something yet. A decent bowl bid or I don't know, what have you. We got number 1 ranked Clemson hosting a scrub at 2:30. We got Arizona at Arizona State at 2:30, and that's not on a TV channel. That's going to be a great game, and that's not even carried on any channel whatsoever. Not even ESPN Ocho or ESPN Deportes or nothing. Pathetic. We've got back in the top 25s now going at it with number 24 ranked USC Trojans at number 23 ranked Oregon. That's a 2:30 game. Should be a good watch. Then we've got now unranked UCLA also at 2:30 at number 13th ranked Utah. That should actually be a crazy game. Don't be surprised if UCLA comes out and puts some whooping down on Utah. Otherwise, I'd expect it to be a good game. I don't see the Utes blowing out UCLA, but you never know. Then we've got newly 25th ranked Wisconsin hosting 20th ranked Northwestern. Great Big Ten battle on the Big Ten Network at 2:30 there. I'm picking Wisconsin. We've also, in the Big Ten battle of the week, at 2:30 on ABC, we've got Michigan State on the road. They're ranked 9th at Ohio State, ranked number 3. Boy, if Michigan State can win this game, it opens up things for their season now where they could maybe get past that one loss and that one fluke loss they had the other week and be a Final Four playoff team. Also taking Ohio State out, of it as well, opening things up for some other teams or conferences. But if Ohio wins, Michigan State's got no chance at the playoff. They're playing for a consolation prize then, and you would also think then that would greatly contribute to Ohio State's strength of schedule, performance, and things of that nature, quality wins, whatever, and really kind of solidify them in the top 4, whereas thus far this whole season they've been, in the top 4, most usually at number 1, but with a question mark, no one really knows how for real they are. They've got all these issues, but they continue to win. They don't do it in impressive fashion, so that's a huge, huge game. Gotta watch that game. Number 2, Alabama at 3 o'clock hosts a chump. What else do we got? We got 16th ranked Navy at Tulsa at 6 o'clock. Go Navy. Notre Dame hosting BC at 6:30. That's a nice rivalry. Don't be surprised if unranked BC, plays hard to get with number 4 ranked Notre Dame on that one. Then in another huge, 2 more huge Big 12 conference matchups, just like last week, we got now 10th ranked Baylor at now 6th ranked Oklahoma State. That's a huge freaking game. And then we've also got, that's at 6:30 on Fox, and at 7 on ABC, we've got 18th ranked TCU at 7th ranked Oklahoma. I am picking and hoping for both Oklahoma teams to win their games this week and really solidify that whoever comes out of the Big 12 between Oklahoma and Oklahoma State gets a spot in that 4-team playoff. And then in our final relevant game of the week, we have unranked Cal with one of the best quarterbacks in all of football, and they were in the top 25 at some point in this year, playing at Stanford. They are now 11th ranked. That game's at 9:30. Stanford looks to rebound, but again, these are all conference rivalry games with a lot of talent, and anything can happen. And don't be surprised if that is another game where, we could see a team lose 2 games in a row, get upset, or at least have it be really close and go down to the wire. All right, so there's all your football, pro and college. Squeeze in some pro wrestling and get this show over with. All right, so I start the wrestling segment off on some sad news. Legendary, iconic, all-time great wrestler Nick Bockwinkel passed away a few days ago. I believe he was 85, if I recall right. I don't have my notes with me on Nick, but I wanted to give out a heartfelt thank you to Nick for all that he contributed to his industry and to us, the fans of his industry, and sincere condolences to his family, friends, and loved ones. Do not worry, however, Nick will most certainly never be forgotten. All right, so squeezing in our wrestling talk for the week, we've got a Raw main event story to discuss real quick, and Survivor Series this Sunday. Pre-show starts at 6 always. Pay-per-view starts at 7. You can watch it on the WWE Network for just $9.99. It is like the best deal ever. You're not a WWE fan if you don't have WWE Network. I have WWE Network, and I am a WWE fan. So we'll give you the match card and my picks here real quick, but let's get the Raw main event story out of the way. So Raw pulled a really crazy card out of the deck this week on Monday Night Raw. The main event of Monday Night Raw was a segment involving 2 divas. That's it, 2 divas. Not and the kick, it wasn't, normally they always have males in that closing main event segment. So it was divas, which I was going to go, wow, that's just crazy anyway. The kicker was that it wasn't a match of any kind. It was a contract signing, literally the worst, most old school, dumb, lame, boring, unentertaining fallback bit that they have, where I looked at that and I went, geez, I think Vince is trying to kill the Diva Revolution here on purpose by giving us what we want and letting it backfire in our faces a little bit by going, all right, you want equality and revolution, here's what a Diva's contract signing would be like, expecting it to stink and be boring and whatever. But oh no, the Divas involved played a secret card that more people should have been aware of was going to be played, is my only problem with it. Despite the fact that it's kind of tasteless and unnecessary, by my opinion. But anyway, Paige and Charlotte were the 2 divas involved. They're signing the contract. Charlotte's the champ. Paige is the contender. They're going to, face for the title. It's Survivor Series on Sunday. And in typical bad guy fashion, which Paige is, she's, ribbing Charlotte, giving her a hard time, and she brought her brother into it. And now her brother is younger. She had a younger brother, and he died of a drug overdose in 2013. Charlotte is the daughter of Ric Flair, so her little brother is also the son of Ric Flair. And she brought up her little brother and how he didn't have much fight in him either, and things of that nature, and really kind of pushing the bounds, of appropriateness and feeling comfortable watching a segment, and I mean, so it really led to great performance by Charlotte. I was genuinely, very impressed with Charlotte's performance throughout the entire bit. It was the best mic skills I've ever seen her have. It was the best personality, charisma, and presence to her, that I've ever seen her have. It was the most engaging I've ever found her by any means. I hate, well, I don't hate, but I don't like that they chose to use that to get it out of her. It seems cheap and low and disrespectful. And if you're going to do that, like, how do you not notify, if nothing else, notify, but ask for the consent of Ric Flair, the father, and the mother involved. I think her name's Elizabeth. She went on Twitter or somewhere and ranted, about how disgusted she was with WWE after watching Monday Night in that bit. And so it's, totally controversial. Like, ultimately it accomplished everything it could accomplish. The Divas segment, occupied the main event on Raw without a match, and it got people talking on a go-home Raw, building up a pay-per-view where it's a, mid-card title match, not a main event title picture or, anything of that nature. So it succeeded, but at what price, and was it necessary? I think are the questions you have to ask yourself, and whatever decisions you arrive on. That's cool by me. I have my own, and you can have your own too. Alright, so the Survivor Series match card here real quick, and then Balls Deep Thought of the day. Alright, so this Sunday at Survivor Series, some of the matches we've got to look forward to, or, grudge through, depending on how you look at it. We've got the Brothers of Destruction reunited, Kane and Undertaker, taking on two members of the Wyatt family at Bray Wyatt's choosing. Now, if it's anybody but Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman, this is going to stink. If it's Luke Harper and Eric Rowan of all people, with Braun and Bray like outside, that'd be terrible. Even if it's Luke and Braun, that would be terrible. The only combination I think I'm okay with outside of Bray and Braun would be Braun and Eric, having the white sheep and the black sheep, kind of trying to make that a thing, with Luke being then the goon, the outside interfering goon, and Bray being the mastermind or whatever. But I don't know. Jobber's gonna job. Old guy's job. I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me if Wyatt family comes out on top of this. However, I think Undertaker's come down so far and is at the end of his career, where you really kind of got to start almost building him back up, or you're not going to have the proper draw and send off at WrestleMania 32 in his home state that he deserves. So, no idea. That one, how it's going to turn out, is a coin flip to me. But, semi-intriguing. We've also got the title picture with Seth Rollins being out 6 to 9 months with a knee injury now, and the title being vacated. We will have both the semifinal matches and the final match to determine the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. The semifinal matches will feature Roman Reigns versus United States Champion Alberto Del Rio. Look for Roman to win that for sure. And then in the other one that could possibly go either way, we've got Intercontinental Champion Kevin Owens taking on Dean Ambrose. I think it's a no-brainer that Dean Ambrose wins that match, and you give us Dean Ambrose versus Roman Reigns in the main event for the title. You have a heel turn. You go through and you have Roman win like you were planning on. You said you were planning on anyway. But then when it happens and he does it fair and square, you can have Dean be this sore crazy loser and attack him and beat him and turn heel. Definitely a lot of rumblings, and I expected this for weeks, months in advance now anyway, that there will be a heel turn, involving Dean Ambrose most likely, possibly Roman Reigns, possibly Dolph Ziggler, or some of the other candidates. But I think Dean's the obvious choice, especially now with Seth Rollins being out and wanting to keep that Shield, former Shield storyline, but we've only got two good guys and no bad guys, so, how do we do that? So, or maybe Dean wins it, but to win it, he's got to turn heel, do heel moves, cheat, whatever, do it despicably. Not sure, but to me it's a no-brainer that Dean and Roman win their semifinal matches, face each other in the finals. Where WWE Creative decides to go from there, we will just have to watch and wait and see. There has